I'm recording. Well, I guess I'll talk about the coronavirus because it's something to talk about. And my biggest problem is like, I live in Memphis. We have a lot of elderly people that have diabetes, that are overweight. We're in one of the regions where obesity is a problem and diabetes. And with diabetes comes a lot of other stuff, such as heart, ulcers that they get in their feet. That is very hard for them. Losing limbs. I want to call it gangrene, but I'm not sure what they call it. But when your outer limbs are not getting enough blood circulated, and also a lot of people are on dialysis. So there's a lot of problems that just comes with like diabetes in itself. And then you also have the problem, still you have the other diseases, because I believe between the age of 16 and 37, they had the highest HIV rate in the last 10 years, where other places teenagers are declining. They had a little upheaval, little peak there. And so there's complications from having a problem with your immune system. It's not only HIV, it could be cancer, it could, anything that could compromise your immune system, Graves' disease, high blood pressure, or more heart disease. So we do have a lot of medical problems here, and that would complicate the coronavirus, or the COVID-19 virus, however you want to call it. And more so, like, I don't even think they're testing it all here, that I know about in Memphis. I've heard about one person that had wanted to get a test, and they're like, oh, well, it'll cost you $3,600. So I think, like, with the way that Trump and the Republicans are looking at private, business to help, it's sort of a way to further impoverish Americans, because the private industry is just, costs a lot of money, student loans that you have to pay out, and then, compound other bills. So, car payment, car insurance, tags. So, an upkeep. So we have all this thing that sort of keeps like the oppressed. So I can't see Memphis community being able to stop working, because, we're a big freight industry. We got FedEx and UPS. We have a big over the road with the 18-wheelers. They're always moving through here. Just up the block from me, they got a truck stop. So, and then you have the trains. We're cold. It's a coal plant right here. So we have trains that go bringing coals and other explosive and flammable materials get travels on these railroads. So, and a lot of merch. So, we have and then it's also have a big harbor. So you have the harbor, you have the trucks, and the airplanes coming in with freight, and the warehouses here. So we warehouse a lot of industrial stuff. So anyway, our industry, it is mostly in the service industry, which what I'm trying to get to the point is that people can't go like 60 days. Because I think really if you wanted to shut everything down, you would do 60 to 90 days to shut everything down. Nobody could afford not to work that, because we do pay a high amount for medical care. And a lot of people in the medical and a lot of jobs here, they really resent sometimes. It seems like the customer, you know what I'm saying? It's not like the customer, you know, has any rights or anything. So, what I'm trying to say, I think that we're not going to test anybody as we need to. Because one thing is Trump and Pence's idea of how to handle the situation with private industry, I think they're gravely mistaken. I think that it's not in the benefits of the citizens. I think it's more harmful. I think that we have a mechanism that was in place, but they just closed it all down. I think that we also have a health care that could handle it, Medicare and Medicaid, with the cooperation of doctors and scientists to organize it. I don't think it's really anything that a politician. I think Trump hired the people that and put them in position that is just where they're not capable of understanding the long term or comprehending the effect that it has on the citizens and how the citizens of the United States, being poor, black, Mexican, gay, or whatever, are the ones that are adding revenue to the government, and that we are important because we are. You know, I think Barry Sanders sort of proved it with his $1, $5, $10, $20, $100 from, average American workers, how much money he was able to accumulate. So you could also see it like when churches take tithe. Even if the 100 people give $5, opposed to like, oh well, I'll just have the ones that could give like $200. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got bigger money, but you're gonna have to draw from a smaller pot, and really theoretically, you could end up with less money because there's less people that have the greater amount of money to give. So that anyway, I hope that makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is that we have a very racist, narcissistic, double binding hypocrite type of government coming from the Republicans that is more harmful to the citizens, to the taxpayers, and is not looking out to the best interests of the community. Of Americans. You can see how they did Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, regardless, will be voting. We'll be voting in this presidential campaign. They'll be voting in the primaries here. They do vote. They do pay taxes. And that is money that is put into the government so you can make those budgets. But we can see that the Republicans have not been working whatsoever in the last 3 years. They've been unraveling the securities and the safeguards that we had, for purely racial reasons, because they didn't like having a black president. They didn't like Obama. Okay, and so now they have to make us look like fools in front of the rest of the world. They have to humiliate and embarrass us by disconnecting from our safeguards over in Europe with our allies. And this narcissistic at the Mexican border. If the truth be known, they did not send the brightest, the smartest white people over to America. They sent the ones that was incompetent of surviving in Europe because they was living in jails. They couldn't tell you a edible plant from a hole in the ground. So just Trump has been obviously And like the boss, the Betsy the boss, you see how she's handling the school situation. And oh, I don't even want to go on about the rest of his the people that he has working, like with the finance and the budget. They are just cool anyway. But I'm just saying that that is the type of management that is self-destructive to the fabric of the America, that will destroy America. Has maybe done an excellent job of destroying it, because they're so greedy, they so jealous, they so I think that the word is like they're incorrigible, especially when it comes to what is best for the big picture. The self gratification. It's like a John looking for a trick, or whatever. Looking for a day rather. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang, boom. It spends a lot of energy and a lot of time looking for, like, maybe a prostitute on a track or whatever. Whatever. And then poof, your energy's gone and there's nothing afterwards. That, what are you going to do? Go have a sandwich? You know what I'm saying? There's no after plan. So they're just like, as the teenagers say, fuck boys. Yeah, they're selfish, they're narcissistic, they're very jealous, very greedy, and they do everything with a lot of malice, with a lot of hate. Anything that happens around them that doesn't benefit them, that those persons did it to hurt them. So the coronavirus is here to hurt personally Trump. Never mind the individuals that have got sick, or the ones that have passed away. My condolences to their family and friends. That's that such a thing had to happen. And so he's psychotic. The thing that the whole world really cares a moment to moment about him, when they just care to continue to make money so they can afford their housing, their food, their clothing, their automobiles, or whatever transportation they take. But mostly it's that they want to be able to survive on the income they get from their job. They want to be able to go to school and not be ripped off by some private embassy. They want to be able to get the corona shot without worrying about some private company, trying to drain as much money out of the American system as they can. So anyway, I'm just really mad at the whole coronavirus, and I shouldn't probably want to say this, but I think alcohol will be a good investment. So today I do have to go get like one or two items, because I figure it's a good time to start spring cleaning. Why not, right? Get rid of stuff that might carry the coronavirus just because you touch it and you haven't used it. Anything like I really hadn't used like in 3 to 5 years, it's out. That, what I'm saying? Unless it's something like a piano or something that just because it's still usable even if it's out of tune, but we'll leave it. But you know what I'm talking about. So some of you might have sneezed on that you don't need or use, but it's a good time for spring cleaning. It's a good time for well, I guess, because I don't know when senior citizen starts, because I'm going to be 59 in a couple of weeks, right? Am I senior citizen? Senior citizen? I can't even say it. Senior citizen? I guess not. But what age do you have to worry about where the virus will be more effective, because I mean I'm not the same as I was in my 20s. Whoever those old men to those young girls talking about age is just a number. They're full of shit. They're a lie. I done lived those years and have memories. They mean something. All right. And not only that, I you know what I mean? I can't jump or run as long. A lot of things I just, you know, I don't even have an interest in doing that I did when I was in my 20s. Simple fact. Because I'm a year away from being 60. So just things change. In my 20s, I could have babies. In my 60s, those baby days are over. No more eggs to be fertilized. So, simple fact. Anyway, so what I want to say, putting this, one thing is that the coronavirus is something that is really affecting the citizens and the people. And I don't care if it's just with the stock market. I don't care if it's just with nursing homes or airports, or closing of schools, or closing of sports events, or music concert. Is really affecting the people of America. And I think the Republicans are not able to comprehend that. They're incorrigible, and we should really, really think about who we want to vote for. And if we could get Trump out of office, I think we could have a recovery in more ways than one that we're entitled to as American citizens. I think that the taxpayers, that women, gays, children should all have the rights, be it you Muslim, Jewish, Catholic, Christian, what have you, that we all have rights, and that in this society we do add to its wealth, and that it is important for the government to keep the people healthy, to keep them educated, and to get rid of people like Betsy DuBois, that are just want to privatize everything so they could benefit by starving children. Get rid of Medicare. When our elderly right now, we're in a crisis. I say maybe think about Sanders, because he's for healthcare for all. And in a situation where we have a virus like this, that we have a lack of leadership that is humiliating us in front of the world. I don't care what he thinks about America. Because, fighting everybody in the world, maybe you got the problem. Some problems could be simply fixed by saying, you know what, I got the wrong enemy. I got the CIA and the FBI that's on my side. Maybe we need to, fuck the motherfuckers that's been fucking us. Pay attention, and maybe whoever you think is your best friend, you kissing all up like, let's just say, Putin. Maybe he ain't your friend. Maybe he don't even like you. As if he was your friend, he would have told you a long time ago about that hair and that that fake tanning that you're doing. Is that Esther Lauder? Like that liquid tanning thing? Is that shit, like, I thought one time I'll just highlight my golden bronze summer complexion, and I thought, but it doesn't give you golden bronze, it makes orange. Or like, it's like, I'm going to get everything like the same color. It's like, it's hard to find the right thing just to hide a few things. What I'm saying? Like on your legs, or maybe not perfect or something. And it's like, finally, like, who needs perfect? But he has, he just. Ugh. Anyway, I'm out of here. So I say, try to quarantine yourself as much as possible. You know, maybe this is a good time to eat healthy so you can stay healthy.